Hello everybody, and welcome back to our channel. My name is VI20, and thank you to each and every single one of you for your beautiful and amazing support. So literally at the time of this recording, we're just shy of reaching 1,000 subscribers on this channel. So thank you so much to each and every single one of you for your beautiful and amazing support. If you're not already done so, please do subscribe down below, turn off your notification bell so you can then be notified when we upload a brand new video. So in this episode today, we are going to be discussing about the generation of ores and diamonds, and literally the differences between the 1.17 and earlier to the 1.18 release, which will be happening hopefully late of this year or 2021. So I've actually used a basic map what Mojang has actually issued, so I'm going to show you what I think is actually going to be happening with it, and then also then thinking actually going to be showing you then even what's actually in 1.17. Now do keep in mind that the blocks and what I have actually used is, so one block is actually equivalent to 3 block levels. So I could have gone higher, but unfortunately I haven't got the 118 snapshot yet, so I can't really show you the full size of it. But it's really based on what the maps which Mojang has actually produced, and to what I actually think is going to be around about the volume of this. So this is actually based, what I reckon is actually on one chunk, which is of a 16 by 16 chunk base. So if I just very quickly whip up a chunk borders here very quickly so I can show you. So this here, this square is a 16 by 16 chunk area. So what I am actually going to be showing you, I will be showing you what I believe is going to be what's happening in the 118, and when that's actually released, like I said, at the end of this year, hopefully ready for Christmas. So this is what we're actually going to be doing today. So as you can see, right here is quite a large section and a small section. So first of all, let's start on the small section. So this small bit here is actually really based on the 117. So I'll chuck up the little map right now for you. So as you can tell on that, from the 117 to the 118, so it's not fully confirmed and finalized, and for the 118 game, and that for the update itself, and that with the ores, compared up to actually the 117 and before. So if we just very quickly pop back into the game right now for you. So as you might have saw from the 117 area, and actually before that, this here is really symbolizing what you can actually find in the one chunk area. Now do keep in mind, as always, that the 117 update diamonds, you can actually still find them on Y11, but they are more popular down at the Y5, 6 and 7, which is the 3 blocks which you might have saw from one of my previous videos what I've done about diamonds and my personal view on this, and to really show you that they do spawn a lot lower down, but you can still get them actually from Y11. So the Y11 one is actually between Y11 and Y14 as being the highest. So you can still find diamonds, but they currently not as popular in a way. And then of course your redstone, your iron, coal, gold, lapis and also your emeralds, which is actually only in a mountain biome, which you can find these, or if you're actually trading with villagers, then trading with villagers as well. So you can actually get emeralds quite easy, but you can either go for the option of villager, which is going to be a lot more easier, or mountain biome. If you're down near a mountain biome, then you will be able to find them, but they're not going to spawn too much. Now, like I said, each one of these here are actually equivalent to 3 blocks. Now, do keep in mind that this series actually sits long, so that's about 18 blocks by 8. Let's put this out. So 3, 6, 9, 12. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 by 9 kind of area. So you're not going to find too much. You can only really find about like 150 blocks initially in one chunk area potentially within the mountain biomes. So this is just like a really symbolization of what the maps are actually showing. Now in the map what I had on screen, they didn't really add in copper. So I've actually placed copper in because you can find a lot of copper in any form of biome when you go mining. So you can find copper really easily. So that's why I've actually added in copper on this. Then of course the coal as well, which is quite a large amount anyway, with your iron, and also your redstone. And below the one, below Y16, you should be able to find a lot of redstone, including the lapis as well, below the 116, 115 area. Now, as we look into this here, which is expected for the 118 update, yes, it will go up to approximately around about the 260, so level 260, literally above ground, which is going to be like your mountains and etc. So you will only find the ores actually up to that point, which is around about the 250 to 260 level, and they will actually go all the way down to minus 64. So when you're actually really looking at this symbolization here, so it's not actually as wide as the map base, but this is just to really kind of like show you potential what you could get in one chunk, potentially possibly maybe 2, maybe 4 chunks, and really depending on how these beauties here as diamonds are actually being formed down below. So you can still find them at around about the Y15, or maybe about 1 or 2 around about the Y15 level. But as soon as you start reaching down to the minus 6 kind of area, then that is when you will start finding more diamonds, especially within the 118 update. So around about it's like I said, around about the minus 6 downwards, you will start finding more diamonds as you are going down. Yet again, these here are really representing 3 blocks, so kind of like 3 levels for this. So that's 16 is going to be your highest point, which you will probably find them at. So 16, 13, 9, so 10. So 16, 13, 10, 7, 4, level 1. So this level 4 here is around about your level 5 anyway, so that's perfectly fine. So level 1, then your 0, which is your our current bedrock in 1.17.1, and then from down there it then all goes down to minus 64, where you will find a lot more of the diamonds, and also you will see a massive increasement on your redstone, gold, and also a copper as well. Copper is going to be increased astronomically, considering what you actually can get in the 117, and including your emeralds as well. Yet again, in the mountain biome you can find emeralds, so that will be starting from the 250, 260, only roughly finishing at round about a level, I think it's around about level 80 as being the lowest point. So you've actually got quite a large area there to potentially find emeralds. Now that might actually drop down a little bit more, and potentially like down to I'll probably say no more than around about level 40 as being the lowest point there. Now coal is for the size of the height limits. You will still find coal in your deep slate at this moment of time in the 117. Now it has been rumored that when the 118 actually comes out, that you will be losing for deep slate coal, gold, I think it's redstone and lapis, I think it is, and I think a bit of copper as well, I think, and iron. So all your original ores what are actually in deep slate, it has actually been rumored that they will be removing them. So if you do get hold of them, okay, use a silk touch so you can actually protect the deep slate and gather as much as you can, because as soon as the 118 update comes into force, you will not be able to find those ores in deep slate. That is what's actually been rumored. I don't know really how true it's going to be, so just in case, do use a silk touch and go down to your deep slate and actually collect your deep slate ores and actually keep them safe and do not use them, because they are only going to be for the 117 updates for the 117 period. So like I said, we're actually in the 117.1 currently, so that is going to be your major time now, and that's really get them, because it's like I said, as soon as the 118 update comes out, you will start losing those deep slate ores really quickly. So I have actually placed a little bit down there, and not for the coal side, for the deep slate, just in case, and that they may want to carry on and that to do with deep slate core, but a coal even. So if you are actually really wanting to actually protect them, get them now and use a I think it's like a silk touch, I think it is, to actually protect it, so that you actually get the 4 blocks so it doesn't break down. So definitely use that, and definitely keep them protected. Now this here, I don't know if this is actually going to be for like a per trunk area. Like I said, it's a 16 by 16 area, or if they're actually looking at this for like over like a 3 or 4 trunk area. Now I think it will be probably more of around about a 4 to 6 trunk, especially with the diamond generation. Now there has actually been people like saying, well, diamonds are going to be forming up into like sections of like 8 and that for your part, and that for your mining, and that you can get them in blocks of 8. And if you're using like certain axes and that to get as many as you can, and so it's more about trying to learn where they're actually going to be. Now what I would actually recommend is, for the diamonds, is to actually start digging below the -15. So as soon as you hit for -15, okay, then really start looking out for diamonds. But do be aware that there is going to be large caves. Now for cliffs and caves updates part 2, which is actually the 118, do be aware of that. So you may actually fall into the caves, but there is also some other little tiny things as well what's actually happening, especially with the light sources. So now I haven't actually got the snapshot because I think they've only produced the last snapshot for now, until they all come back off the holidays. And then when they come back, they're actually going to release the for the pre-launch hopefully. so we can actually update that as for the proper snapshot of it, because the current ones are actually experimental, so they're still actually tweaking a lot of its stuff actually on the 118 update to make sure it's actually working properly and that all the generations are actually correct. So that is actually going to be really, really quite interesting to see, especially when the update does actually come through. Now you will also actually see that the iron will actually increase as well, of course, because of it being deeper. The lapis and the redstone will be increasing. The gold will be increasing probably around about tenfold, so like 10 times the amount of gold. Like I said, in the mountains as well, that your emeralds will be actually increasing, and the coal will probably be increasing by double as well. Now for copper, now I would actually like to just to show you the copper section here. So this here, this copper area, so popping up into the emeralds here, coming down, and then actually coming down here. Okay, this here is actually probably around about 5 times more as the 117. Now this is what the kind of like I'm looking at as much as possible. So when you do actually get the 118 update, definitely really look at it massively, because it's more around about the case of that things will be actually increasing, especially with the old generation. Now they can't actually guarantee if there is going to be more of a certain ore, but like I said, from my last one of my past videos, what I've done here on the channel about diamond generation and where you can actually find the diamonds, that like I did a test on Y11, but also then on Y5 as well. So the for Y11 went up 11, 12 and 13, and for Y5 went from Y5, 6 and 7. So you can actually still find diamonds in those kind of areas, and that's this one right here, the smaller section. So when you actually look at this entirely, there is going to be some big massive updates, especially around the iron generation, for coal generation, lapis, redstone, for gold and diamonds. Diamonds will always be one of the most wanted ores and items anybody would actually want, to be honest with you. So this is going to be very interesting, and this here is actually going to be very interesting as well. So like I said, initially, if we're just basing it on one chunk size, which is for 16 by 16, this here is what you will probably get in one chunk, as being 1 block per time. With these here representing 3 blocks a time, so like this here is actually being 5, then 10, so that's like in 60 blocks of diamonds, which is probably a little bit more than this here. You will be actually looking at around about a 10 maybe to a 20 chunk area just to find the initial 60 diamonds, and for that. So putting that into a perspective for this, these here, if I just very quickly bring up my chunk boulders again, right, so this here is about 1.5 nearly chunks, and if I add this one in here, you're looking at around about 2 chunks wide, this here. And when you're actually really thinking about, well, is it actually going to be really suited in that, do we need to go out those 10, 15, 20 chunks? The fact is, if you do want to do that, you really need to like figure out, well, you can do like a 4 chunk by a 4 chunk basis, which is then like your 4 times 4, which is for 8, 12, 16, 8, 12, 16. So 16 chunks is actually going to be your best bet. So if I actually put down here very quickly, let's get up let's use a diamond block for this. Yeah, so that you can actually see properly. So I'm going to be placing this just on the outside here. Let's 2, 3, 4. Oh, there we go. So that's actually going to be a 4 there. So I'm actually going to be popping this up a bit higher here. Then here, so that's going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then let's place this up a bit higher. So this here is just like a real big massive indication on the actual size of this. Because I really want to try and give you lot the best possible insight of this. Let's see if I've actually got this lined up properly. Ideally I have got this lined up right. Yeah, that's perfect. So in this 4x4 chunk area, right, we are actually looking at, you will get the 60 up to 60 diamonds potentially in this 4x4 chunk base area here, which is 16 chunks. Now you could actually go further if you're wanting to. Now keep in mind, in my last video, that diamonds was actually only showing up at a 10 chunk basis, and that's what we only went up to. So if you really do need to dig around to at least get your 60 diamonds, and this is being on a really personal view of this, if you want in these 60 diamonds, you don't just dig that there, you dig out at least 40 block or 40 chunks out. So that is going to be a real massive pain in the backside, to say least. So you can actually go up so around about the 40 mark, so like 10 fours, of course, is your 40. You could actually potentially move that bit further down, and which you can do like 6x6 or 7x7 or 8x8 or 9x9. So whatever you actually decide to do, however many you go out currently, which I recommend a 10 chunk, you go out 10 chunks that way as well. So you've actually got a 100 chunk area dug out at around about the level 11, level 5, or even actually from like a level 13 all the way down to level 5. So that's actually about 9 levels, and you should be then like digging out if you're wanting to do that. That would take a lot of time, a lot of pickaxes, so you don't really want to be doing that. So that's what I would actually recommend for that there. And of course this one here, and that for the 118 for the diamonds, you could actually do the same thing as well, a 10x10, so a 100 chunk area for your diamonds. But you could actually probably smallen that down anyway, and then probably do like a 6x6 or 8x8. I don't really know until we actually get onto the 118, but that's only a literally a personal view on that. So if you do actually want to carry on through to the 118, definitely dig out your bit off of the minus 15, and then actually maybe dig out a full block area or chunk area of approximately around about 8x8, just to really try and get. So if I just show you on here very quickly, it's going to be about this level here. So this kind of level here, you will be looking at about an 8x8 area. And then when you actually get down here and you are wanting to really dig out, so let's actually go by 3. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you've got like 30 there. So that's actually going to probably then produce about 180 diamonds in this here. So like to get 180 diamonds, I would then recommend for you to then possibly go out to around about a 15 by 15 or a 20 by 20, just to try and aim for those 180 to 200 diamond mark. And that's actually down at the lowest point, so literally from like bedrock, which is going to be your -64, going all the way up to approximately around about a -25 kind of area, as being the highest. And that's what I would actually recommend for that. So literally overall, from the 117, which is that smaller section, to the 118, yes, 118 is going to be a lot more interesting. There's going to be a lot more mobs brought in, and there's going to be a lot more ores actually placed through the world, a lot more. So we are going to have a lot more of the interesting side of things for this as well. So do keep in mind that these here are not 100% guaranteed. They will be subject to change actually from Mojang as well. And also do keep in mind, when you do go mining, do take some water with you. Do not dig straight down, because you may happen to fall into lava and lose everything. And you don't want to be losing diamonds when you have spent hours up and in digging away. So I am actually going to be leaving it there, everybody, because until we actually get for 118, I can't really say much more about the old generation until I actually get for 118 snapshot, which is going to be suited, where you can update it through your Mojang account, which I think is actually going to go over to Microsoft soon, and that for a lot of people. So as soon as the 118 is all updated and everything's fine and it's looking great, I will be digging down from the 260 on a mountain biome, and I will just be doing a full chunk straight down, just to show you what you can actually get in one chunk. So I can't really do that until the 118 comes along. So in the next video, we will be doing about the little differences in that between the 118 and the 117 one. We will be tapping into the torches and the light sources. What is actually classed as being the light source currently in the 117. And then I will also then show you what the maximum area in the 118 is going to be for torches and other things as well. So yeah, again, I can't really use the snapshot in 118, so I will be using the 117.1, but there will be like a little indications there for you, so you can actually see how far and how much of a difference is actually going to be making, especially for everything what we are actually wanting to do for the 118. So yeah, again, thank you so much, and that to each and every single one of you for your beautiful and amazing support. Do actually follow us on Twitch. We will be going live for time of this recording. We've actually gone on to vacation mode, so we're not actually doing really no live streams at this moment of time. But we will be back. We will be kicking that back off again. So yeah, again, thank you so much for that to all of you, and do support us on our Facebook page. Literally the links are all down below with a Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, and also our Patreon as well. Also as well, if you are actually wanting to join us on a brand new server called Pridecraft, this server is actually for content creators, so such as YouTube and also Twitch for live streaming. Please do follow the link into the description towards the join application form, and there, like, yeah, we can actually look into it and actually hopefully bring you guys on board. There's only 16 places available, so we've got a lot going on. And we've got a lot going on. This year has been really, really amazing. So as always, directly from myself, thank you so much. Please do not forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. So I'll speak to you all later. I'll see you next time, and as always, directly from myself to you beautiful people, is a ciao ciao for now, and I'll see you all later. Bye.